the chapters here. Right? But just in terms of sustainability in general, those are just some basic sources that I
So, but do you think, I mean, a hook that is saying that sustainability should get back to the roots of its definition, the ability to endure, which isn't narrowly defined by environmental. It includes environmental, but it could include peace, poverty eradication, education, just as much as it does environmental, and that looking at human rights and sustainability on equal footing and taking the social sustainability pillar and giving it more weight benefits the whole discussion. You don't think that's a more of a novel approach for the book?
Well, I like it. I think it's a message that more people need to hear.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just if I'm the book review editor at one of these publishing houses, if that's the entire pitch, then that has been done, right? Mm-hmm. And I think human security was one of the few ways that there was a contribution from academia, perhaps, towards that merger of all those different values. But no, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dismissing it as not worth doing. I just wish it'd be nice if we had something a bit more.
Like what?
A bit of a deeper bite.
Well,
like what is that's the question that we have to look at when you look at all the papers,
right?
But also the driving force, which has to be the main editor, who's Carol Gray. I mean, she's got to come up with that.
So,
I love the way you phrase that.
Yeah, I mean, we were 4 co-editors, but you resigned as of today, so okay. Anyway, so all right, I wanted to just talk a little bit about some human rights kind of lingo and background. So, if you look at part of the foundation of human rights comes from international law, and so one of the foundational documents is from the Statute on the International Court of Justice, which was set up as the body to implement the UN Charter. So it's one of the as close as we can come to saying what is the international law that can be relied on. And so Article 38 gives 4 prongs for international law. One is international conventions, obviously treaties, international customary law, which is the practice of nations, general principles of law, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and the 4th category, just the teachings of qualified publicists, judicial opinions. So customary law says that there's a binding obligation that nations have based on what the rest of the community is doing. And it can solve the problem of some law that if a country hasn't signed a treaty, does that mean they're bound by nothing? No, it doesn't. If they are so out of the range of what's customary in other countries, then they're still in violation of customary law. The general principles are things like basically kind of legal concepts that states should conduct themselves in good faith, that there should be equality among states, that sovereignty should be expected of other states. There's a finality of judgments. There's if there's a breach of a right or duty, then there should be a reparation. There should be freedom of the high seas, freedom of outer space, independence of the judiciary. So all of those are general principles that are found in Article 38. Some of the bodies that work on developing international law are the International Law Commission. It's an organ of the UN that was formed in the 1970s with 34 individuals that meet for 3 months a year to draft potential new international agreements. And they've created the Articles of State Responsibility over a period of 40 years, which talk about what the obligations are and duties are of states. None of that is binding law, though. So binding law refers to things like treaties. So there's the International Bill of Rights, and I apologize if this is all basic and already known to you all, but hopefully some of it's helpful. So the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which you probably all are familiar with, that's not binding law. It was basic principles that were wonderful and cutting edge at the time, but it's not a legally binding treaty. However, the International Bill of Rights combines two other treaties that are binding law. So the International Covenant on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Actually, I often see the economic rights built into the